Hey guys, Crafty here from Living in Beta, and in today's video we will be showcasing how you can obtain the iconic weapon and vehicle for one of the game's most beloved characters, Mr. Jackie Wells. Disclaimer here though, major early game spoilers ahead, so turn off now if you want to keep your innocence. Now in my opinion, the fact that Cyberpunk gives you the opportunity to obtain rare items that have significant meaning to prominent figures in Night City's history adds an extra layer of identity to the makeup of your character. Destroying Arasaka, for example, using the weapon of a true friend whose life was taken by that same organisation. Poetic justice for us role players out there. If you're anything like me, collecting all these unique items is one of the main driving forces for me to keep playing through Cyberpunk, and it feeds the urge of making sure I have touched every inch of what the game has to offer. But for now, enough of my ramblings, let's buckle in and drive forward into the video. The first important step to obtain these items brings us to the closing moments of the Heist mission. After witnessing a family betrayal, stealing the item you are tasked to retrieve, fighting through waves of Arasaka henchmen, and barely making it out to Delamain's vehicle alive, you start to realise that this mission truly has cost blood, sweat and tears. Delamain makes you aware of Jackie's imminent demise, and as you watch your true friend fade away from his physical existence, contemplating what has to be done next barely crosses your mind. You then come to, outside of your destination, where a conversation is struck up by the Delamain vehicle on the decision of what to do with Jackie's body. This is where our options make all the difference. Choosing the nowhere wait for me here option does nothing, as V cannot access the car again and after the happenings in Dexter Deshawn's room, and the game automatically defaults to sending Jackie's body to Mama Wells, effectively making his choice null and void. Choosing the Center Vic option unlocks a little cutscene down the line in the main story where Vic tells you that Arasaka came and raided his clinic, stealing Jackie's body away where they destroy his psyche forever. This does lead to Mama Wells leaving you a box outside V's apartment containing the keys to Jackie's bike, but makes his iconic pistol unobtainable. The important option here is to choose sending his body to his family. This will then unlock the secret side quest Heroes, which allows us to not only obtain his bike and weapons, but also let us get a more in-depth backstory on what Jackie was like and how he was loved by so many.
See you in the major leagues, Jack.
As you run through the remaining parts of the heist and find yourself once again allowed to roam the streets of Night City, Act 2 begins. Within 5 minutes you'll get a text message from Mama Wells asking you to call her. After an exchange of emotions, from there she will invite you to attend the funeral of Jackie and ask you to meet her at the El Coyote Kojo, the bar that she owns. From here you'll get the quest pop up in your journal named Heroes, where Mama Wells wants you to meet her again at the El Coyote Kojo. The fast travel point closest to this would be of the same name, El Coyote Kojo of course, and this resides right next to where Mama Wells' bar location is. Now of course, after finishing Act 1 and moving into Act 2, you won't have necessarily unlocked this fast travel point, being the fact that you've only been residing in Watson the majority of your time. So from here you would have to have a nice little 2-kilometer drive from Watson all the way down to Hayward, appreciating Night City in all its glory. As you enter the El Coyote Kojo, you will find Mama Wells putting in last minute preparations for the funeral. After an exchange of pleasantries and a little reminiscing, you are asked to take part in the ofrenda, but highlight the fact that you do not have any items of Jackie's to set as an offering. This leads to her giving you access to Jackie's garage. Once you arrive at the garage, you will find Misty sitting outside, and both of you will go into Jackie's garage on the lookout for mementos of a life's past placed at the ofrenda. This is where I'll leave the explanations of the quest, as I think it's important for players to explore and approach the ceremony how they wish. As the ceremony comes to a close, Mama Wells thanks you for your words and offers you up Jackie's keys to his bike as a thank you. It's important to say at this point that if you do not say yes and have a conscience, the bike will be unobtainable from this point onwards. So my recommendations is fully say yes, because this bike is something you could use for your whole playthrough, and it's iconic anyway, just to remember Jackie whilst riding around on it. Now once you've received the keys for the bike and you've done mingling with the residents of the bar who all attended Jackie's funeral, you want to leave the bar itself and go outside. We'll then cross the road and we're looking to wait 24 hours for the weapons themselves to spawn inside the bar. They're not something that spawns straight away, and they're not necessarily placed as an offering on Jackie's, funeral area yet. So you'll stand across the road, wait 24 hours, and then the guns will spawn. Now, of course, if you're in a situation where you've done the quest and you didn't realize the weapons were there, which, happened to me in my first playthrough, you can just come back here and they should reside in the same spot. Just dodge that car. So you'll take a left when you enter the bar, and then you'll take a right and you'll see the 2 pistols on the offering table for Jackie. Sadly, these are the only things you can pick up. I do wonder if, that blade is something iconic, or maybe those gloves, right? But anyway, so the guns themselves. So as I said, you'll have 2. The reason for that is Jackie used to wield 2. They're both identical though in stats and name. One of these you can go and place in your safe deposit box in V's apartments anywhere or in your vehicle, and it will pop up on the showcase part of the wall, which is cool. Nice little way to remember Jackie. The other one, of course, you can wield yourself. Now the weapon doesn't have a high damage, but it does have some cool effects on it. As you level it up to legendary ability, it's going to do some decent damage. But things like a higher chance to apply burn and stun will give you a benefit on the battlefield. Burn killing people over time, which is very, very handy, and the stun giving you some breathing room as well as the battle intensifies. But reducing the reload time is also a massive benefit. You also get perks like this that help with this, but these all stack, so that's cool. And adding the extra mod slot is something that makes this weapon potentially be stronger than it may have been perceived, because as you level it up and upgrade it from rare all the way up to legendary, you will gain an extra 3 mod slots here, which will allow you to put different damage types, and different sort of mods here to make the gun excel in different areas, which then the smaller damage DPS may not be a factor, right? Which is pretty cool. Now also, of course, as we said, you do get the bike. Let me just showcase that to you as well. The weapon itself is very cool, gold and very bling bling. I do recommend using it. As for the bike, you of course just go into the vehicle menu and it will be named Jackie's Ark, which is pretty cool. For those of you who remember doing some of the quests prior to the heist, you'll see Jackie would have been sat on the Ark and you would have a little nomad conversation option to chat about it. The bike itself is very, very cool. Great looking, double exhaust, which is nice, and it's the kind of vehicle, as I said, that can last you the whole game. Not only does it look cool and it is decent speed, but it just has that, I don't know, that it factor, and also that memory tied to it, which makes it a vehicle roleplay wise that you really want to double down on. So yeah, as I said as well, there's different paths to place Jackie's body in different areas. Doesn't allow you to pick up the weapon. There is videos out there that talk about glitches where the weapon spawns in the world, that Arasaka dropped the weapon off after dealing with Jackie's body. I don't believe this is the case. This, to me, is the only way of doing so. But if you can obtain the weapon in a different way outside of modding the game, please do let us know in the comments, of course. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Like the video if it helped you out. Share with your friends and family. Subscribe for more content like this one. And remember, don't be a gonk.